their initial reaction to the rumors that were swirling that he was going to be fired, and obviously being driven by the most recent round of boycotts against his show. This isn't the first, but it's by far the most successful. It's the one that actually worked. Attorney for Bill O'Reilly put out this statement saying, Bill O'Reilly has been subjected to a brutal campaign of character assassination that is unprecedented in post-McCarthyist America. Usually people say McCarthyite, I believe. But this law firm has uncovered evidence that the smear campaign is being orchestrated by far-left organization bent on destroying O'Reilly for political and financial reasons. That evidence will be put forth shortly and is irrefutable. I wouldn't hold your breath. I think this is probably going to be like the evidence that Obama wiretapped Donald Trump and that there were millions of votes cast illegally during the election. I don't think it's gonna come up. Also, I love that now if anyone feels that they're being insulted, it's McCarthyism. Everything is McCarthyism at this point.
What about the idea that like Mr. Character Assassination is complaining about character assassination?
It's interesting that you bring that up because producer J.R. Jackson has gone back just briefly into the history of Bill O'Reilly to see if Bill O'Reilly has ever dabbled his toe in the waters of character assassination.
Enter the race hustlers who do what they always do. Again, it gets worse. The hate site Salon bannered this headline.
I never comment on smear merchants.
The hate site Media Matters bannered this.
You know, the far left kooks, like this nut at the Washington Post, Milbank. But he's a dishonest man.
Then liberal newspapers like the San Jose Mercury News spread the propaganda. You're a hack. Ah, but Mr. Colbert is a deceiver. And you are a hack. Arrogant idiot. All right, cut him off. Cut him off. He's a jerk. I covered 4 wars with a pen. Okay, so don't impugn my courage ever again. You're a weasel. And the far left smear merchants have the nerve, the gall to say America's a white supremacist nation, where the reality is that young black men are doing far more damage than the police in Chicago. We have a case there now, the police in Minneapolis. Young black American men are so often involved in crime. Violent crime generated by African Americans is an enormous social problem. The reason there is so much violence and chaos in the black precincts is the disintegration of the African American family. You don't see the Black Lives Matter crew on the south side of Chicago where it's almost
democratic cities. Here in the city, we have stop and frisk policy, which has brought crime way down in New York. Way down, okay? And what that is the cops know who the wise guys are, they know who the dealers are, they know who the punks are, and they know who the muggers are. A radical group called Black Lives Matter has threatened to shut down the Republican convention in Cleveland next year and is generally causing trouble all over the country. The left hates that, hates it. Because it is racial profiling, but it's really criminal profiling. Democrats have been very successful in convincing some voters that the Republican Party favors the rich and is anti-woman. Most poor people in this country have computers, have big screen TVs, have cars, have air conditioning. This myth that there are kids who don't have anything to eat is a total lie. You know, you're making a lot of noise there, which is rude to Monica, and I don't think you want to be rude. You know, you're snorting out there, and I want you to knock it off. Killing babies in America, that's the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. For $5,000, Tiller, the baby killer as some call him, will perform a late-term abortion for just about any reason. You should be very disturbed by what continues to happen in Kansas. This man, Dr. George Tiller, known as Tiller, the baby killer, is performing late-term abortions without defining the specific medical reasons why. Tiller has killed thousands of late-term fetuses without explanation. No question Dr. Tiller has blood on his hands. Zealots say my reporting on Tiller motivated the man, even though there's absolutely no evidence of that. The accusers object to my using the term Tiller, the baby killer, which was the doctor's well-known nickname. If you're a Christian or a white man in the USA, it's open season on you. It's a changing country. The demographics are changing. It's not a traditional America anymore. 20 years ago, President Obama would have been roundly defeated by an establishment candidate like Mitt Romney. The white establishment is now the minority. We need problem solvers, not ideologues. Well, you want a war? You got a war. I'm not going to sit here any longer and take this garbage. Now, I can't read it. There's no words on it. Sure. There's no words there. To play us out. What does that mean? To play us out. Fucking thing sucks.
Well, he
I
did.
forgot about some of that.
He did and didn't get played out.
Yeah.
Now I think he knows what it means.
It's epically karmic.
Yeah.
It is like epically karmic.
He said that there's no children who go to sleep hungry in America. That you could check that.
No,
You Google that.
all poor people have big screen TVs. He knows it because he knows a lot of poor people.
Yeah.
So look,
Also, he covered 4 wars with a pen. I mean, that's
he
the
cut a
funniest thing I've ever heard.
veteran's mic there. That was a veteran, Mikey Weissney, that he was talking to. He cut his mic. He said, "I cover 4 wars with a pen," and we showed, of course, that no such thing actually happened. It was 1,000 times worse lie than Brian Williams' lie, and he got away with it because he worked at Fox News, where you're allowed to lie professionally.
He also, last year, it was uncovered that he lied about being in Florida on the other side of a door when a guy that he was covering committed suicide, said he heard the gunshot. In fact, he was in Texas at the time.
Yeah,
just lied about being present for a suicide.
All the serial lying, all the serial racism that you just saw with your own eyes, misogyny, and the sexual harassment. Actually, Fox News has known about that for decades, and they covered up for him. And part of the reason was for almost all that time, Roger Ailes ran it, and he did the same things and even worse. More allegations against him. So when he says these groups are targeting me and it's a smear job and it's irrefutable, well, it is actually irrefutable that they were targeting you because you deserve that. You were doing this to women in a way that they wanted to highlight. The part that is not accurate is that it's a smear job. Even your own company settled those cases because they were so convinced that those accusers were right that they paid him millions of dollars.
Yeah, good luck convincing him of that. This is the guy that for a decade has attacked Media Matters for simply posting clips of him talking.
Yeah, he has literally called people who quote him smear merchants for quoting him. So, Bill O'Reilly, I'm looking forward to your irrefutable evidence, but you're not gonna do any of that. Yes, groups were sick of you. They did run that campaign. You did lose 80 advertisers, and they did it based on facts that your own company agrees to, and that is why you were fired today. But you're not gonna do any of that. You're gonna go crawl back into your cave where you belong. Podcast The Young Turks anytime you want. tytnetwork.com/join.
I think it's weird.
No, it's not weird. In fact, you'll think,
I'm like a smart person.
do it now, tytnetwork.com/join.